This is Casper de Nora, and you're watching the Chat with Chaps live show.
Hello and welcome to Chat with Chaps Midweek Live. We've got another action-packed show lined up for you tonight. This is the newly named Technical King, Disco Steve. Happy to be your host for this evening. Looking forward to a good show. Before I introduce my co-hosts and very esteemed lineup for you tonight, everybody, just want to remind you, if you're new to the show, please don't forget everything we do, every penny that we raise as part of this podcast, we donate to cancer research. So please, if you haven't already done so, subscribe and like and make some comments on YouTube, etc., because all that goes towards adding contributions to cancer research, which is a great charity, obviously. And I think Chris is going to give us a bit of an update later on where we are in terms of current funds. But also at this stage, just a big thank you to our sponsor, Spectrum VR, who have sponsored us this season and also contributed to cancer research. So without further ado, probably a first for me. I'm not sure. I'm hosting and I've got the main man in the house, our very own fashionista. I think he's down here. It's Mr. Chris Chapman. Welcome, Chris.
Evening all. Hope everyone is good. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been getting absolute pelters for my my strides that I wore on the Millwall History and Heritage Tour. So I'm lapping that up and continuing the theme. But yeah, really good to be on. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited, I suppose is the right word, for Friday. I can't tell you.
100%, absolutely, mate. And listen, I was hoping you might have a bit of leopard skin on tonight or something a little bit.
Bottom off, Disco. Bottom off.
But but no, Chris, great to have you on. Chris is only on with us for about half an hour, but very valuable contribution and got some updates for us before he leaves at 7:30. So up above Chris and to my right or your left, however it comes out, welcome to the show again, the man himself, more stats than you'd want to shake a stick at, is our very own Stephen Jones Stato. Welcome.
If guys, just by the way, if we hit a like target, Chris will show you all his leopard print. He'll stand up and show you what he's got on the bottom half. It's a bit of a sight,
he will.
But
he will.
No, I'm good. As Chris said, it's just exciting times to be a Millwall fan. I think every game you see, every home game's a sellout, away tickets, everyone's after one. It's just absolutely bonkers. So good to be here. The international break hasn't got me too down just yet, and raring to go on Friday, and hopefully the boys are too.
Absolutely, like the sound of that. And welcome, Stephen. Great to have you on as always. And finally, but absolutely not least, down below us here is the very young man himself, the face that runs the place, Mr. Ben Green. Welcome, Ben. How are you?
I've been called young for a while, mate. So that's nice.
And not even youngest on, by the way.
No, I was going to say, yeah, not even.
You're an old company, mate.
Yeah, mate. The biggest compliment I can give you, Disco, is you just make me laugh, mate. Whatever it is, you could just be a complete wally with trying to set up everything, but you just make me laugh, and I just sit there and listen. You just crack me up, mate. So always a pleasure to be on with you.
Oh, I love that. Hey, there's a lot of love already in the room tonight. We like that. We'll have to share that with our listeners. But listen, great to have you on, guys. And as you say, very, very exciting times for us, and a lot to talk about ahead of a really busy Easter weekend ahead. So without further ado, we're going to get onto that. But what I'll do first, I'll try and whiz through some of our listeners who have been on since early. First through the door tonight, Carl Bracey. Evening, Carl. Great to see you, mate. Thanks for getting on nice and early. Friend of the show, Jeff Chandler. Hello, Jeff. John, absolute legend. Run out of words to say. Thanks very much, mate. We do really appreciate it, and thank you. Husey, hello, mate. Jeff, evening, mate. Nice to have you on board. Dave W., thanks for coming on. Lee, thanks for coming on tonight. Alex, good evening to you, mate. Andy Roberts, good evening and welcome. Bex, hello, Bex. What's that? Who is that down on the bottom right? We will find out. Evening all, Andrew. Thanks for coming on. John already said hello and welcome back, Chris. Absolutely. Yes, he's making a guest appearance. Stop making comments. I'm trying to say hello to everybody. Let me get through. Where are we? Anyway, lesser spotted Chris Chapman. Off to Wembley, Jerry. We'll have a great time, mate. There, John, evening. Thanks for coming on. Where are we? Any others? Has Joe quit, Carl? No, Joe's really busy with work and other commitments. He will be back very soon. He's missing you all. Don't worry. But thanks for the vote of confidence that we're doing a good job in his absence. Mummy Jones, is that Stephen? Yep. Yes. Yep. Hello, Monica. Nice to have you on the show. Is she coming to the game on Monday as our lucky charm?
Sadly not. Other commitments in the way, but yeah, sadly not. I'm afraid she was looking forward to get involved.
Is Mrs. Stats coming?
No.
but Stats Senior is coming.
Stats Senior is coming. Yeah, he can't. He says, and he's pledged, and I'm going to do him in it. He reckons he's going to collect more money in the bucket than anyone else on the day, and he's pledged that.
I back him. I saw him in action last year, mate. I back him.
Not with some of the guest appearances we've got, mate. He's got absolutely no chance.
Hang on,
that's George. What I'm saying.
George, there's a lot of love going on here tonight. Let's not spoil it with going on about my technicals.
Right, George.
Not in public, thank you. But thanks for your input, George. Right, that seems to be all the hellos so far, and hopefully we'll have a few more join us throughout the show. So, without further ado, look, fun-packed agenda tonight, but obviously only one thing to look forward to is another big sellout on Friday. I keep wanting to say Ayresome Park. It's not, is it? It's the Riverside. I've been a couple of times now, so I should know. But let's kick it off. Kick it off with the boss man, Chris. What you thinking for Friday, Borough?
I said earlier I'm really excited, and I am, but I'm really bloody nervous because I think that if we can win that game, that is such a statement of intent, right? And you've got a team that, like Borough, that are having plentiful chances but not scoring goals. We are better at playing teams that want the ball, and we play on the transition. Alex Neil has a fantastic record there. We're all on the up. We've sold out. We'd like to think we'll have a lot of key players back. It's going to be some spectacle. But I think what I would say is to every Millwall fan that's going or going to watch that feels like I do, you've got to fucking enjoy it, because when is the last time we had a game at this stage of the season where we had a realistic opportunity of even thinking about a top two finish? So just enjoy it would be that's kind of where I'm feeling, Disco.
There's some bloody great words, Chris. And look, I know going to go across to Ben now, and I know he's very much in that camp. So it's a good segue. Use one of your phrases there, Chris. See, learn from the master. That's what you do. Segue across to Ben. What's your thoughts on that, Ben?
Yeah, listen, very, very excited. Borough haven't won at home in the last 4 games. Chris has stolen my thunder with Alex Neil's record as well. He's got a very, very good record at the Riverside. I think his only defeat was in COVID year. It sort of went what I can't get words out. Last defeat was in COVID with Stoke, I think that was. So look, he's got a great record up there, and maybe I keep saying it all the time. We've just got to go into this game, players, fans, the whole club, and just embrace the occasion. We saw what we can do against a good side away from home, certainly in that second half against Ipswich. If we can somehow take that momentum into, I know we're going to have the international break, but if we can take that momentum and put that performance together, and it doesn't even need to be a 90-minute performance, so that's going to sound stupid. If we can put it together for 70 minutes, we're going to give them a right good game. So, yeah, very, very excited. Can't wait. As I said, when we were in the waiting room, mate, I said exactly the same at Hull, and then 5 minutes before I turned to Jonesy and went, I'm shitting myself now. So I'm going to be exactly the same. I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait for Friday until about 12:25, and then the nerves will kick in.
Although, listen, it's better being there. I think being at the game rather than watching is 10 times better. So hugely envious of you, Ben, going to be there. Yeah, and you know that point on Alex and his record, that does mean something, doesn't it? As we find out with Blackburn, there's something in certain teams, certain managers, certain players scoring against other teams. There is something in that, isn't it? Or am I just? I
need to correct myself first, Jones. This guy was Preston, not Stoke. Sorry, when he was a Preston manager, but still, yeah. Listen, I think it does. I know players change, clubs change. Obviously, he's changed 3 clubs since that record or throughout that record. So, but you'd like to think he has got a little bit of a number over him. So, yeah, listen, I think it does hold some weight. I'm going to say it does anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I agree. Thanks, Ben. Brilliant. Hey, listen, look at that. We've got a Coventry fan on here. Looks like a Millwall fan called Maniac Hector. Welcome on board, mate. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for your best wishes. Don't be too nice. Ben doesn't like people giving us too much love.
I'm not used to it. I can't. We got to do something, mate. We got to just upset someone on Friday or Monday because there's too much. Yeah, like this is a loving. There's too much Millwall of a loving at the minute.
But absolutely. But nice comment there, Maniac. And listen, please, if you haven't done so, subscribe. Get your friends and family to subscribe, because everything we do goes to cancer research. So thanks very much for that. So, Stato, what you thinking for Friday?
I'll give you a scenario about talking about enjoying the game. Millwall 1-0 up with 20 minutes to go. We take off our number 10, put on a holding midfielder, have 5 at the back. It's up against the Alamo or whatever, and you tell me if we're going to enjoy it then. Because I tell you, we take the lead on Friday. There's a thing for you, a prediction for you. We take the lead on Friday. What that means in terms of the end result, I don't know. But I think there's been a lot of talk about how we played against Ipswich, and we kind of let them have the first half, if you will, and then decided we couldn't match them for 90 minutes, so we'll go second half. I'm not saying we're going to go gung-ho from minute 1, but I don't see us starting the game in the same fashion. I reckon we try and get a little bit on the front foot and catch them cold. They got players back from international duty. Hayden Hackney, we believe, is not going to be available because he's injured.
Is that still a strong?
I believe. Well, they said he was out for 4 weeks, and that includes part of the this weekend and next. So,
he'll be back
but yeah, I think. But we do. Well, we're doing our tactics, but I think players should be back. The message of enjoying it is the main thing. And I know I jest about the going defensive, but Ipswich don't play on Friday, I don't think, because of their game in hand, I believe, or I'm not sure if I don't actually think they play on Friday. So 1-0 up, just 1-0 up, chance to go second. Just tell me that you're going to be enjoying it, because I tell you, I'm going to be sat there like this, just basically the entire game, just every time they go forward. But I do agree, you've got to embrace this time of year. We've never had this chance to be second in the league after the Easter weekend. So absolutely enjoy it, go for it, and don't come away feeling regret of what could have been. If we get beaten by the better team, so be it. But go there, give a good account of yourselves, try and play to the best of your ability, and if it's enough, we'll win. And if it's not, then we've still got all to play for in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That's what I love, by the way, right? Sorry, like Alex Neil will go to win the game. Like there's no doubt about it. And that's what I absolutely love about his style. Like he might not always get it right, but he will go and try and win that game. And we've been under management before where, it would be, can we squeak a 0-0 out there or whatever, even at this stage of the season. So I love that. We're absolutely up for a game. And do you know what? Like Kim Hellberg's done a fantastic job since he's come into Middlesbrough. But if there's one criticism of him from the Middlesbrough fan base is his ability to tweak in game and to try, obviously, with all of the home form where they've suffered recently. And that's something that we know, particularly in recent weeks, that Alex Neil has got right.
That's absolutely right, Chris. Yeah, it's a really good point. And look, I love what you're all sort of saying here is, look, we do need to embrace it. We need to try and enjoy it. It's really difficult when you're so engaged in it and what have you, but we should be celebrating where we are. But I think the biggest aspect for me is what Ben says there, the players. If the players are embracing it, you've got half a chance, most definitely, and I'm sure they're up for it, but they've got to get through the nerves and really grasp it, and take the challenge on.
I don't know if you, sorry, Steve, I don't know if you saw it. I know you'll come to that donation in a second, but there was a Middlesbrough fan tweeting. He tweeted earlier something like, "Can I be asked to hear me for 90 minutes on Friday? We've got to make it loud." Our fans, if we sniff a chance that we're on top and we're, in the ascendancy, you'll hear us. The fans will make themselves known. It's not going to be, we're not going up there like we have done in recent years. Sometimes with a couple of hundred and it's a bit quiet and this, that, and the other. They will go absolutely nuts. And that we've all been in away ends in recent history. Chris obviously at Ipswich, me and Ben at Hull. I think Disco, you was at Preston. Just absolutely insane scenes where we're scoring at the minute because the goals are that big. You get one on Friday, it's just going to be absolutely nuts.
Absolutely. And listen, the players are thriving on it, aren't they? A big crowd atmosphere and great away support. They're really benefiting. And we're going to talk, aren't we, about sellouts, and home and away. Pretty much going to be the case till the end of the season. So
Oxford sold out earlier, didn't it? I think.
Yeah.
The last game of the season. Yeah, it's just even with the crappy kickoff times as well. You've got to bear that in mind. Like every game is changed to a poxy Friday night or a 12:30 kickoff. And we're still selling them out, which I think is just testimony to how everyone's feeling at the moment.
Absolutely spot on, Chris. And Aldo, thanks very much for joining us again. Joins us every week. And a lovely donation, much appreciated. Thank you from Mexico over there. So thank you. So Chris, who are you going with? What sort of 11? If we assume the players that we think should be fit, i.e. Casper, etc. You have that gift to choose. If you have the players to choose from, what changes are you making from the Ipswich game for the starting 11?
Oh, this is a difficult one. So, well, it's not. There's just one position that I find difficult. So for me, the back five is the same. I think, and I'm hoping that we'll see that right-hand side really start to show what it did earlier on in the season. I think it's fair to say we've not looked quite the same when Tristan's played at centre-back. So I think that's a really key one. For me, if Casper's fit, he comes straight back into the team and he plays alongside Billy Mitchell. I think we need a lot of legs in midfield. They can have a lot of the ball. And I think that's going to be the game. So I think we need that. For me, Josh Coburn, up against his former club, has to start up top. Negley on the left, Femizi's on the right. My only question mark is the 10. Do you play Ivanovic and go, do you know what, sod it? It's looked good the last few times we've had those two, but in a completely different context. We've had those two not starting, we've had those two finish in the game. So do you want to have that dynamic and you set the press early with a Langstaff or a Kundal? So that's the only thing in my mind. I think I've convinced myself there that I would rather have Ivanovic to come on and probably start with Kundal or Langstaff. I couldn't choose, but that's kind of my thoughts. What about you, chaps?
Go on, Ben.
I think Kundal will play in the 10. I think that's what will happen, and I think I can't see us going toe to toe with them for 90 minutes again. I think Alex Neil will be very similar to what we did at Ipswich, not in a sense of getting battered like we have done, but I think it will be stay in the game for the first 45 minutes. Don't be 2-0 down to a good side because you're not going to get that back. I think it will be tight first half. That's why I think he'll play Kundal in the 10. He can drop deeper if he needs to. And then I think if Casper is fit, I think he comes back in. Apart from that, it's been as we are, I think. And then I think we'll see the Serb in the second half, is my opinion. If we do, if Ivanovic does start and we do go sort of a more 4-4-2, I am happy with that. But I don't think Alex Neil will. I think he'll want to stay in the game, and then we will have a right go again second half. Is just my gut feel.
And is that the thinking of Ivanovic being on the,
I think
coming
so,
on,
mate.
as Chris is saying. Yeah.
As I say, I think because
starting.
Kundal then, if he needs to, can drop a bit deeper, and you can almost make that into a bit of a 3 again if you need to. I know we haven't done that too much, but there's an option to do that. So yeah, that's just my gut feel.
And look, both of you so far have said you start Kasper if he's fit. No, don't agree with Gumbo there. Starts Bannon. Sorry, Stephen,
again,
we're going to talk about Bannon for a minute, so you might want to just turn off for a little bit if you're all right.
For me, mate, I think we've seen how much we've missed Kasper. I've been quite critical of him in terms of he gets a lot of praise at times when he doesn't deserve it, in my opinion. But I think what we've seen, how much we do miss him and that partnership. Was it last time that him and Billy played together would have been Birmingham? Is that right? And look how good we were then. The press in midfield, we were absolutely unbelievable. So, for me, those two are our best. That is our best partnership. And I think Bannon, again, I say it every week on this show, but horses for courses, I think he comes on late when we're either chasing the game or whether we need to control it because he's got the ability to do both.
All right, interesting. Yeah. Before I come to you, Stato, just Cristiano, thank you very much indeed. Again, really appreciate it. Thanks, mate. That is fantastic. And we'll go to a very good cause, obviously. So thank you for that. Stephen, what you thinking? You similar to the guys with Kasper?
Sort of, but it's dependent on it. Whoever plays in the 10 is dependent on if Kasper De Norre's fit, in my opinion, because I think if Kasper's fit, you can get someone in there that's maybe a little bit more attacking. I think you could go with Ivanovic. If De Norre isn't fit, I think that causes a few slight issues because I don't think Kundal's really set the world alight in centre mid. Bannon probably isn't going to play 90 minutes and it might give you a little bit of control on the ball, but if they've got sort of runners in midfield. So it's dependent for me if Kasper's fit. If he's fit, I would probably go Ivanovic if it was me. And go a little bit more, get a little bit more on the front foot because you've got legs. You've got legs behind you. If you've only got really Billy in there, who I would consider to be sort of a runner in midfield, and you've got him paired with someone else, Kundal's a bit more on the front foot. Mazu Saku maybe, but then I would look at going maybe a Langstaff or someone different in the 10. But it really is dependent on Kasper. I hope he's fit. We've missed him so much over the last few games. I know we got a good point at Ipswich, but a team with Kasper, our team with Kasper De Norre in it is significantly better. And I think he's a player that you only really notice how good he is when he's not playing. And we've noticed that over the last few weeks.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd agree, but how worried would you be of him being match fit? It's been out a while now. Bit rusty. No, you wouldn't worry?
Someone said you get 60 minutes out. If you get 45, 50, 60 minutes, whatever it is out of Kasper De Norre, I think you start with him and you put your best players in the team if they're fit and available to start the game. Bannon can give you 30 minutes. We've seen he's happy to get on the press at times. You can see that he can control the tempo of the ball. Or if you are 1-0 up, you could go Mazu Saka and have a little bit of a physical presence in there, or if you want a goal, Kundal. Do you know what I mean? There's options, but if your best players are fit at this stage of the season, and he's got the all clear to say, right, I'm gonna play, or I'm ready to play, and the doctor's giving him the all clear, I think you just got to get him in there because you can't die wondering in these games. You can't be coming away thinking, what if he played, or what if we did this?
Was it the QPR game where he did the same? He was just coming back off a long layoff and he played 45 and got pulled or.
Didn't he come on?
He did. So we started 15 minutes. We were quite poor at QPR and they were on the front foot. Kasper De Norre come on, and for the next half hour in the first half, we changed the game.
It's this one. It's a really good point from Stephen.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Although, look, absolutely. I totally agree with the aspect that you're saying there about bit of an unsung hero, and you don't really realise what you're missing until he's gone with Kasper. But I'm going to be slightly different. It won't happen, but I would start Bannon personally alongside Billy. But it won't happen, and I know I'm in the minority there. But I certainly would do that, and I would have Kundal in the 10 like Ben. So, and I'm in Chris's camp and Ben's, I think, of bringing Ivano on Mihailo. Sorry. If we need to go for it more rather than starting with it. But look, great to have these options, isn't it? Before we go on, Chris, I do apologise. Called you Cristiano. Sorry, it's these bins, the cheapo specs. Sorry about that. But thanks for your donation, mate. Much appreciated. And I know it's Chris now, that's for sure. Chris, we're getting up to 25 past, so we don't miss the opportunity if you do have to go. But obviously, you're welcome on as long as you can stay on. Do you want to give us a bit of an update on where we are with the charity day and all the charity events that are going on?
Yeah. Thanks, Disco. I think, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone that supported in any way, shape or form. We've got a number of things going on at the minute. So obviously for the 6th of April push, so hopefully see all of you down there packed. Then it's going to be an absolutely fantastic game, a tough game. But before it, obviously, we'll be doing our fundraising event like we did last year. So you'll see all of us with some assistance from Cancer Research themselves, with buckets, obviously ATM machines, and some various bits and pieces that you can buy, which I won't spoil. But we've also been selling the T-shirts, both signed and non-signed versions. Disco is modelling one right now. So they've been flying off the shelves. There's not many left, guys. So what I would say is if you do want to buy one, they're £25 and all of the profit. So Martin at No One Likes Us Clothing, who's done us an absolute solid, he's charging us only the cost price. It's not fair that I reveal what that is, as I'm sure you can appreciate. But the profit, every single penny goes to Cancer Research UK. So if you're thinking of donating, that's a good way to support Martin, but also to support our quest with Cancer Research. We've got the personalised videos that we've been selling. The Morrow ones have gone down an absolute storm. And I think it's brilliant because I think it's shown the Millwall community in the sense that Steve Morrison is close to raising £1,000 for Cancer Research with personalised videos. He's taken time out of his diary to send over 25 he's done so far. And he's every single time we said, Steve, is that enough? He's gone, no, I'll do more. And that just tells you he might be a miserable bastard, but he's our miserable bastard. So
he loves us really, doesn't he?
He loves us, mate. He loves us. And I think you've all enjoyed some of his videos. I think the ladies certainly have, from what I've seen on Twitter. So that's that. And then, of course, the big charity auction. So we put that live after some disco-style technical issues on Sunday evening. We finally got it live.
What are you on about? I got it sorted.
Disco jumped on, sorted it. He was like, no problem, watch this. Clicked a button and voila. But we still got a week of it to go, but we've got some really strong bids on some items. But all I can say is, guys, just keep, if you can't bid, no problem, but please share it. You've got no idea the power in you just sharing it to one person. If you just forward it to one person, say, take a look at this, and that's how these things can spread. Again, every single penny of profit goes straight to Cancer Research. There's a few costs for the platform, but other than that, every single penny is going straight to Cancer Research. And one of the holdbacks has been the fact that I didn't want to touch any money. So the reason it took so long was because we had to link Cancer Research's bank account directly to it. So, but we've done that. And look, whatever happens, we're going to raise a ton of money for a fantastic cause. We appreciate your support. And of course, to wrap up things, Stephen, which I'll hand over to him in a second, has got his run as well. So there's loads of things going on. I think it's brilliant that we're doing this and we really appreciate all the support. But what we do hope is throughout this period that we've continued to give you good Millwall content. And that's first and foremost what this channel is all about. So thank you for all of your support. And I'll hand over to Stato to talk to us about his 100 miles.
Jonesy, before you do that, I just want to say on the auction items, I'm going to keep banging this drum because I'm just going to end up buying it myself. The Millwall hat is the best item on there, and I cannot believe it's at 50.
I know.
So I'm biding my time, and I'm going to be a sniper late on is what I'm doing. But I keep bigging it up. I'm not doing it anymore now, but it's the best item on there. It's amazing. So check it out. It's incredible.
And sorry, I just want to build on that because you're absolutely right. I also just want to mention that was donated to us by Jeff Chandler, who's a massive friend of the show. So thank you, Jeff. And there are tons of you, John MFC, Andrew. I know you're both listening to this. That amongst others that have donated things. Not all of it has made the auction because we have got some other bits and pieces lined up. I don't want to spoil too much. But just if you donated something, you're like, oh, well, I donated this and it's not on there. There is good reason for it. And we just appreciate everyone coming together showing what a fantastic community this is. And we will break the £40,000 mark this season. You have my word on that, which is going to be a fantastic achievement.
Phenomenal.
Mr. Jones, over to you, mate.
I don't know if I can say this. I'm going to maybe talk in code here, Chris, but I've got the auction website up now. So we've raised a significant amount of money already on the site. So people have been generous enough to bid already. So thank you very much for that. The look I just got from Chris, I won't say how much it is, but and yeah, my run, I'm starting tomorrow. You've probably seen it plastered all over Twitter today, Instagram, wherever you sort of follow me on or whatever. I am doing my 100-mile run, or 100 miles in April, running starting tomorrow morning, getting up at 6 o'clock to fit a run in tomorrow to make sure I start on day one. A couple of people have asked me to run with me, one of them being our esteemed leader, Mr. Chapman. We will be running together at some point.
With that dodgy knee? Are you sure?
For charity, mate, you've got to do what you've got to do.
Love it. Well
My wife's not happy, but there you go.
I've raised nearly, including gift aid individually, I've raised nearly £1,900, and wow. I'm incredibly proud of that. It wouldn't be, a lot of our listeners have done it, have helped with that. Mike in the chat donated, gave me £1 a mile. He sits in front of me at the den. I know he's in the chat. So people like that, I've just blown away with how much support I've had. You'll follow it all on Twitter. I'll put my Strava details. If you do want to donate, my page is all over there. I appreciate that we have a lot of stuff going on for charity, and what we don't, or what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to take away from what the podcast is doing with all of that kind of stuff. And I also didn't want to make it all about me and what we're, and the events, that type of thing. We do this because cancer research means a lot to us, but we also do it because Millwall means a lot to us. And we want to try and make sure that we get the balance right. So if you would like to donate, if you would like to bid, if you want to, if you want to share the details of the auction, whatever it is you want to do to help us, we appreciate it absolutely 100%. So, some people might not be in a position to donate. Please don't ever worry about that. If you share it with your family, your friends, that means just as much to us as a few quid in the pot. So I am starting tomorrow. You might see me around. I'll be doing a bit of running in Blackheath, Greenwich, so closer to the ground. I do have a little surprise, which I can't say too much just yet for the month, but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. So thank you for the support, and I echo what Chris said earlier. We do this because we want to raise money for a great cause, but we also do it because we want to bring you good content. So thank you very much.
What's the plan tomorrow, Stephen? How many miles have you got? You're just doing as many as you can.
I'm actually running twice, so I'm running before work and after work. The idea is I want to try and do between 3 and 4 in the morning, go to work, come home, and then maybe do another couple. So I want to try and bank miles so I can. There's next week I'm going to West Brom. There's other things, obviously Easter weekend, so I can't run on every day, but I will. I've got a plan. I should be more than comfortable by the last week of the month, and I'm going to make Chris run 20 miles with me. So that'll get us over the line.
And then
you want to borrow your lazy git.
Are you one of them
guys? Roller down on Monday for you, Jonesy, as well. I'll bring my foam roller down on Monday.
Yes, please. Yes, please, mate. Yes, please.
You're going to have Stato t-shirt on so people can.
Sadly not. I'm mainly going to be running in sort of Millwall bits and pieces. I've obviously, for that people know that I play cricket. We've got a couple of cricket shirts that for my local club that I'll be running in as well, and I will be as many opportunities as I can. The Chat with Chaps t-shirt and hoodies and stuff that we've got coming out. So I will be on brand. I wasn't on brand tonight. I didn't get the memo from Steve, but I will be for some of my running.
And honestly,
you can just see his bedroom, can't you, with all the hangers up with each day's outfit on, can't you? Shorts,
color coded a lot, mate. You name it.
And the last day, honk if you think I'm sexy on the back, no doubt.
Oh God.
No, best of luck, mate. That is absolutely phenomenal, and
thank you.
We shall look forward to the updates on an ongoing basis. I've while we've been doing that, I've come out of the chat and now lost all the chat. So apologies, bear with me. We will get back on track. But no, well done, boys, and thanks, Chris. Listen, great. What's some great stuff going on there, and I agree with Ben. Look, he's picking out the cap, but crikey, there's some prizes or some items to auction for on there. Absolutely phenomenal and at very attractive prices still. So please get your bids in as soon as you
Sorry, can I just add as well? If you for the chat, if you know any Arsenal fans as well, we haven't just got Millwall stuff or cricket fans. There's a test shirt. The test shirt, if you can bid on that and make that as high as possible, because there is an individual sitting here that really wants to win that one. So if just keep bumping that.
Have you down as a cricket fan, Ben? And also another incentive on the. I'm going to screw myself over here, but another incentive on the cricket shirt. I can't say, I've been sworn to secrecy, but the donor of that shirt, whatever it makes, they'll double.
Wow. Bloody
so there's an incentive. It will go directly to cancer research. It won't come on our page, but it doesn't matter. We don't care about that. So they'll double it. And then the other couple of things I'll say on the charity auction. So it ends on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So we wanted to give people that, the Easter weekend is going to be carnage, right? Millwall fan or not. So it ends on 11 o'clock on Tuesday. There are a couple of items, including the cap, that are not quite at reserve. So I put a reserve based on what I felt things would be worth. And of course, there's things like shirts that the framing is quite expensive. So I'll put reserves on. So at the moment, there's a few items that aren't a reserve, but they're close. They're close. So if you see something, give it a cheeky little bid, except the cricket shirt.
I think, look, I think that's a great shout from you, Chris, there is if people either want to bid or not, but pass it on to friends and family. It's amazing how these things, I've passed it on to some friends I know are big Arsenal fans, particularly, and stuff like that is where it'll really generate. So you can support it that way, guys, most definitely. And Pete saying there about, donating, I guess if you're at the game on Monday, Pete will be doing taking donations if you so wish to. I'm not quite sure how you do it on YouTube. If you can, I don't know, but or get involved in any of the charitable stuff. But good. All right. Well, look, thanks for that, guys. Just something popped up there while we were all chatting. It's a good question, really. Are we confident? Do we think Casper's definitely going to be back, or are we really fingering the whip, or are you pretty confident?
Tumbleweed just gone. That was good, wasn't it?
Tells you everything, doesn't it? I think it's for me anyway. I haven't heard anything, mate. So it is just very hopeful that he is going to be back.
I think they've been very quiet, haven't they? And Millwall usually are working on things in the background when they're quiet. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the squad. Whether it's enough to start, that's remains to be seen.
It feels to me all the indications weren't they, in the lead up to it, that he would be back. But as I say, whether he's a possible starter is another matter. And the way that we manage minutes these days, it could be anyone's guess. So let's go around the room. Ben, what are you going for on a score for Friday?
2-1, mate, I'm going to go with. And I am going to go with a lamppost brace to really stick it up them as well.
Love it. Yeah. Love that. Brilliant. In the chat, please put your scores and scorers, what you think for Borough on Friday. Stephen, what you thinking?
2-0 Millwall. God. I don't. Oh, that's going to get clipped, isn't it? 2-0 Millwall. I will go Coburn, and then a Camille Negley in the second half to send that away and absolutely bonkers. After riding our luck a little bit, I will say I don't think we'll have it all our own way.
Yeah, it's a tough game. It was a tough game. Chris, what you thinking?
I'm going to go... Oh, someone's just put it in the chat. I'm going to go with a 2-2. I think you're going to have two teams that are going to go for it. And I think I'll go for a Desmond. Would a draw be the worst thing in the world? No. But does it open the way for Ipswich? Yes. But yeah, I mean, I think we've got to go there and go for it. So I've just put the link to the auction in the chat
Oh,
for
I
a
was
few
just
people
doing
that.
Yeah.
Good shout. Thanks, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it certainly feels like everybody's going for goals, aren't they? You know, and in the chat, all the scores coming in, 2-0s, 2-1s. I think somebody had a 4-0 there, 3-0 there, Monica. Oh, Monica, look at that. 3-0. So a high scoring game, people are thinking. I think I said last week, I definitely said a Coburn brace. I can't remember if it was 2-0 or 2-1. I think 2-1 was my prediction. So that would be a great result. Listen, I remember being up there when Romain Esse scored. Remember from an assist by the famous Idemo Imaku, one of his best ever pieces of contribution to the club.
Just going back to that, I'm still amazed no one's asked me to do a video for him and in some way, shape, or form saying he's the best player in the world or something like that.
It's time. There's time. Don't worry. There's time for that, most definitely. So look, Chris is going for a draw, but we're saying we think we're going to nick it. But I think everybody's saying goals. David's going for it there to 5-2. Wow, bloody hell! Imagine that. That would be fantastic. So, and are we one of the main games on telly or?
Sorry, Steve. I think Chris is just about to nip off. So, Chris, do you want to do a little outro for the fans after your cameo?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's nice to be back. And yeah, I'm just so excited for the weekend. I feel like a kid at Christmas. I think someone put in there around was it the Polar Express or something? Like, honestly, I'm just so excited for this weekend for a magnitude of reasons. 2 massive games, which, as I said, we've just got to enjoy, and hopefully we're going to raise a load of money for charity on Monday. So if I don't see you at the game on Friday, I'll see you Monday. And yeah, speak to you soon. See you later.
Cheers, Chris. Great to have you on, mate. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye. Yes.
And then
somebody
going
answered
back,
it is ITV, isn't it? It's ITV. Yeah, again.
I think Sky have got us as their main game. They were the reason why we were the 12:30. They moved us, and obviously ITV have this business, don't they, where they get to show. I think it's something like 16 or 18 games from the Championship, and just lo and behold, they picked Ipswich, Millwall, and Borough Millwall. So yeah, we are the main game on both, I think.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, look, we're looking forward to that, and it sounds like so. Chris is going, and you're going, Ben. Yeah, so yeah, it'd be brilliant.
I'll be there, mate. I'll be there.
Envy you. Bring it home, boys. Bring it home. That's the main thing. So, if that wasn't exciting enough, we then roll on to we have a couple of days rest, and then we roll on to another sellout at the Den on Monday. Is that right? Did somebody say it's the 12th sellout this season so far? Home game sellout? Is that right?
Sounds about right.
Wow, that's phenomenal, isn't it? You know, absolutely at another level now. You know, and you don't always get full houses over Easter with the you know, being a holiday time and what have you. So if it will be no doubt a packed house, and Norwich will bring a full end, away end as well, and could still be in the shake-up themselves, to be fair. I think Benjamin Bloom was saying they are still, you know, very, very difficult, but do have a sniff should the planets align for them. But what you thinking there, Stephen? What you expecting from the Norwich game?
So just before I do that, Dave and Andy Roberts have just donated, both of them between them, £70 to my personal running charity event. So thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. I've had someone texting me saying, you've got to say it. So I didn't see it, but thank you guys very much. I really, really appreciate it. What do I think? Well, as most of you guys know, we've been doing the podcast for a while now. One of my very, very good friends, Tom, is a Norwich fan. He is going to the game on Monday. I've been giving him so much stick for a long time because they've been absolutely rubbish. And now it's getting to the point where it's a really big game for us, and they've turned into Real Madrid because they keep winning. So I'm concerned. Someone said earlier that they're not discounting Borough, and I don't think that we can, but I am more concerned on the game on Monday because it's always the sort of after the Lord Mayor's show. I think we'll give a good account of ourselves at least against Borough, and then you've got to back it up in a really, really big game. Um, from what I gather, they've won a lot of games and they've been in really good form, and I don't want to discredit them, but they've not beaten too many of the teams that are at the top of the league. I think they beat Wrexham, and I think they beat Coventry around Christmas, but Coventry were in obviously a bit of a blip then. So it'd be interesting to see how they approach a game against a side perhaps still in the hunt for automatic promotion. They also play Ipswich next weekend. So it's a big time of season for them. Obviously, teams in the top six. From a Millwall perspective, it's really difficult to know how to approach the game in the sense of if whatever the result is on Friday, because I think if you win on Friday, you're going into that game really excited, really wanting to build momentum, but you can't just go gung ho, if you will. You know, it's an interesting time. I would like to think that the players had their Blackburn. As much as I don't want to talk about that, we did lose at home. We did get the sort of a hammer blow. That's out of the way now, and concentrate on being the best you can be in the remaining games. And I think if we do that, we'll give a good account of ourselves. And if we play to the best of our ability, Middlesbrough aside, the remaining teams that we have to play, I would fancy us to beat them if we play to the best of our ability. And if you go in with that attitude, then I think we'll be all right.
Do you feel their style of play and the fact that they're more likely to take us on, if you like, will work in our favour as well? Yeah. Yeah.
Look, again, I've having a mate who supports them. I follow their results pretty much every week. I know how they're playing. I know they're better players. We obviously have a lot of chat about football. So I think they haven't been, I wouldn't say they've been world beaters. They've just been able to keep picking up results. And I think that they won't come and sit in against us. No. That's for sure. I think they'll try and get something from the game. And then that's when you're looking for Femi and Camille and maybe Ivanovic, Coburn to produce some magic. But I actually think that the both games, Middlesbrough and Norwich, I think they'll both be really cracking games of football. Yeah. Really, really good, whatever way that looks in terms of results. But I think it's going to be a really good, exciting weekend for Millwall fans and the team alike.
Yeah, agreed. And does your mate enjoy coming to the Den?
As you can imagine, I'm incredibly humble whenever we do beat them. I don't give him that much stick. He might even be watching this actually. I'll tell you one thing before we move on to the game. A few years ago, he couldn't get a ticket in the away end, and he had to sit in the home end. And it was the year we beat them 4-0. And I tell you, it was one of the best days of one of the best days of my life. But we've had loads of games at Carrow Road where they beat us, and I've had to put up with him giving it. He's had to come to the Den, but it's a local one for him. Obviously, we're living this way. He doesn't live in Norwich, so I think he enjoys it somewhat. He doesn't always enjoy it at full time, but hopefully he doesn't enjoy it this time. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, good stuff. What are you thinking, Ben?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a draw, mate, given their recent records. They've either won or lost. The issue is they've won a hell of a lot more games than they've lost. When Clement went there, I couldn't see that. I'll be totally honest. I didn't like him. I follow Rangers. I'm a sort of a part-time Rangers fan, if you like, and he was absolutely useless up there. So when they hired him, I thought, great, that's another team out the mix for a while. And he's completely dispelled any sort of thoughts I had about him being a bad manager. So, he's done a fantastic job since he's come in. As I said, I think they've won, when I looked earlier, they've won 10 from their last 14 or something along those lines. So, listen, they're on flying form. The only thing I can kind of hope is that they may be starting to go into holiday mode and looking towards the summer. They might start to change players. I'm not for 1 minute saying they will do that. I'm just trying to hang my hat on something because they are flying. I think it's going to be a tough game. Like I said to Jonesy on our month in review, I don't buy this that our running is easy because of like teams like this. I think that, yeah, as I keep saying, they're in flying form. So I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining game. I can see it being a real end-to-end game. Normally when we play them, it is an open game with lots of goals, and I think it'll be the same again, mate. I just hope we come out on the right side of it, obviously. But I think it's going to be a very, very tough game.
Yeah, agreed. And listen, before I've got a question on that. Before I do that, listen, in line with the Norwich game, and QPR and Oxford are both sellouts as well. What's our thoughts on what Stephen's saying here about splitting the North Stand and giving a bit more terrace space to the home support? What's your feelings on that?
My personal feelings are we should 100% do it. We need to try and garnish any sort of advantage that we can disco towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Oxford would be the obvious one there. QPR will sell out, won't they? Given it's a London derby, you would have thought.
Yeah.
Oxford, Oxford will be the obvious one there to try and give us as many tickets as possible. So maybe the club are doing that. But again, Oxford may bring numbers because they're fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there is an option,
right? No, good shout, mate. And am I all right in saying the club are looking at this for futuristically doing something? Yeah, Stephen,
I think so. The issue that you're going to have is, one, if we did get promoted, how that would look. With, I don't know if there's a minimum allocation that.
Yeah, we'll just share the top tier of Everton, mate. That'll be fine.
That being the other thing, I don't know if there's a minimum allocation in the Premier League. There is in the cup games, isn't there? You have to give like 15%.
I think there is in the Premier League. Yeah, I think there is.
So I don't know how that would look. However, you look at, and I don't mean any disrespect to some of these teams, but when you get, for example, Preston on a Tuesday night come to the Den and they bring, 500 or 600 or something like that. And I'm not knocking them because we've done the same to them. I wouldn't be, other clubs. But, there's an opportunity for the club to make a little bit more money. Let's be honest, that's one of the reasons why they would do it, to get more people into the ground. And how many times you look at it, especially on TV, you look at that away end and it's basically derelict. It's all seats and it just doesn't. I think it would be brilliant. I remember you guys may have been the last game of the season. I think was it Oxford. Who did we beat 5-1 on the last day in 2001? And Reedy scored a rocket. And basically the entire ground. This was years ago. The entire ground was full of Millwall supporters. When we got promoted,
was it Oldham?
Oldham.
Yeah.
And the whole ground basically was filled with Millwall fans. I know it was because we were getting the trophy, but you imagine on the day, just I don't want to tempt fate, but just for argument's sake, you're still in with a shout a second, or you move into second, and you've got the whole versus virtually the whole. Just imagine it. I think they've got to do something. They've got to do something. And one thing I would say, and I'll get your lads' opinion on this. There are a couple of tickets that have appeared on, shall we say, resale websites for the Oxford game, and I saw one before we come on the chat being charged. I think it was £114 for a ticket for Oxford on the last day of the season. This is the price of success. I guess that if this sort of thing would happen a little bit more if we got into the Premier League. Do we think the club maybe perhaps could have done a little bit better with giving them to members first rather than putting them on general sale?
Seen that, yeah. Look, one of them in it. Yeah, it's always going to cause divide opinion and cause frustration for some fans. But look, that's, as you say, price of success is a phrase that's been used. So going back to the Norwich game. Should we do well at Borough, as I think we're all feeling we can and hopefully will, where do you feel, are we rotating, or if possible, are we sticking with an unchanged, successful team? What would be your view, Ben?
I don't think you can change, mate. It'll be go with your strongest squad now until the end of the season. That's what you just got to do, mate. Certainly if we get a positive result on Friday, it will be you're off Saturday, you're off Sunday, straight back into it Monday morning. They won't be training or anything. So, yeah, it will be fittest, strongest squad we have available, mate, and it will be just go straight into Monday, hopefully full of confidence and momentum. But yeah, there'll be no changes in my opinion.
I think it's a good shout. I'll come to you, Stephen, but I think that's Alex Neil's preferred option. Really, he does rotate, but he doesn't seem like he just do it for the sake of it because they all need minutes and what have you.
Since the new guys come in, Disco, there is a lot more managing minutes. I know you hate that phrase. There is a lot more of that now that happens, but yeah, I don't think he can. It will be best and fittest squad available.
Yeah, and look, they just have to go and give it everything, don't they? Stephen, any different thoughts to that, or you reckon the same?
I think the same. I said it earlier and I agree basically what Ben just said. I think you play your best players when they're available. And the only thing with that I would say is maybe with Casper, you might see that they have to manage him maybe a little bit if he's back. That would be the only one you might say we could rotate if need. We've got options to do it at least, and at home I think you've got a little bit more flexibility with who you play in there rather than maybe away at Middlesbrough. But I as I said, as Ben said, I think you've got to go gung ho with your first team and just try. We've got to just win games of football now. The odd points on the road. It was a good point at Ipswich and things like that. But you've just got to go hell for leather and try and win the game. Nothing silly, but you've got to be looking at winning the game pretty much by hook or by crook.
Can I just come in on that last comment that popped up as well, Disco? I know it's going back to the ticketing piece, but 100% they should be found and banned from Millwall. And if it's a Millwall fan doing it, hang your head in shame. You're an absolute scumbag because you are ruining it. Mate, you're ruining it for actual fans who can't get tickets. So if it's a Millwall fan reselling a ticket, you're a scumbag. If you're a ticket tout, it's going to happen and show that price of success, but they should also be found. They should try and find the ticket in some way or shape or form and try and take it off them. The club will know because it will be on that. It'll be on the resale thing, right? So you should be able to track down who bought it. And I 100% agree with that. Should be banned.
Well said, mate. Well said. And you should be able to find a way. I know it can open a can of worms, but it's not ideal. Price of success, but also something that could possibly be stopped and certainly should be ideally, without a doubt. But look, another one we're going to be going into. Really, it's two bloody tough, exciting games in a very short space of time. Would I be too negative and too controversial to say, are we likely to have a surprise on Friday and someone maybe not be available who we thought might be available? And I have no hint on that. Just I hate to say
you were about to pull someone out then.
No. I don't at all. But it's so Millwall in it, and it does tend to happen to us and a lot of clubs, but. Are we confident we've got a fully fit squad? They've been putting plenty of videos out, haven't they? So that can hopefully be a positive sign, do you think?
Yes, mate. I hope it is. You're worrying me now. I'm not going to lie. Listen, I think I'm going to say it. No, I'm not actually going to say it because I'm going to jinx it. I hope everyone is fit, and I hope everyone is fit and well heading into Friday, and there are no surprises. I'm not going to say what I was going to.
Steve, can I ask, what's your Twitter handle, Alvin? What's your thing on Twitter?
Somebody asked me that earlier, and I thought it was Steve PM63, but he said he couldn't find me, so I don't know.
Right, let me tell you now, guys, in the chat, if there's a player that isn't in Millwall starting 11 on Friday, I want you to absolutely spam that Twitter account and send him messages because
I know you're making me nervous
now.
I don't know. I'm just being a bit glass half empty. I will. Steve Morton 63. That's it. Sorry.
So Jeff, if we are missing anyone, then you know whose door to be knocking on. But we do. What's interesting as well is the fact what you just said there, Steve, is really, really important. And it might not seem it, but Millwall were pumping out these videos. They had a couple of the players playing table tennis the other week, didn't they? A couple of them on one of the social media videos. They got them all on training. They got them all doing these stupid like TikTok challenges and stuff. The mood in the camp, and all the players are featured. They're not silly. They make sure they get Femi and Negley, Cooper, Ivanovic, Kobe. They're all there, and if those videos stopped, you'd start to worry and be thinking, well, what are they trying to hide? What's going on here? So I think at the minute we're at Touchwood, as of today, we're in a relatively good place. The club are happy to post out their players because everyone's kind of fit, raring to go. We all know it's Millwall, things happen, but I think there'll be other teams that Middlesbrough will be thinking, who the hell's going to play in Hayden Hackney's position for the next couple of games if the rumours are to be true that he's still out for 3 or 4 games. I think someone put in the chat earlier that Norwich have got a couple of players, and if it's McCammer, which I think that's who I saw, he's been scoring a bucket load of goals for them. He's been banging form. So everyone's going to have to deal with injuries. We had Taylor back. I think that's been kind of gone under the radar. He come back pre-international break, so he should be fit and raring to go for these next 7 games. So I think we're okay at the minute. Touchwood.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. And looking on the positive side, if I'm going to throw in a negative bomb, looking on the positive side, we should have enough strength in depth to cover. There's some certain positions you'd be really nervous, but and we've done it admirably all season. I hate to say it's so Millwall, in it, but we are proving it's not so Millwall. We're moving on in a lot of things. So half wish I hadn't said it now. On point. Exterior cleaning, is Casper fit? We were saying earlier, mate, we're not 100% sure. We suspect he will be available, whether that's to start, to come on, or play a big part in the game. We're not sure, but we suspect he will be. But we don't know for definite at all. But we just hope he is, most definitely. So look, just wanted to quickly say before interacting while we're before we go on more about the Norwich game. You guys have just mentioned there that you've got your monthly review where you review March, is it? Yeah, you must obviously. It's March. Yeah, review March and look forward to April/May. Great show. I've watched it. Really great show, and some very interesting score or points predictions from both of you. So that's a good watch. Anybody who hasn't seen that, it's worth watching that. That's available now. Is it just YouTube or is it on other media as well?
I think it's on everything, isn't it?
Yeah, Chris has assured me he's done the audio stuff. So if you don't want to watch it on YouTube and you just want to listen to our voices rather than watch us, that's absolutely fine. We're not offended.
And for those of you of which it seems there's many, are missing Mr. Joe Zampa, you'll be delighted to know that I recorded a show with him and Angelo, the Three Musketeers, back together on, was it Monday night? We videoed a show that I think is going to come out maybe Thursday, something like that. And it talks about players that you would keep or move on depending on if you're in the Championship or the Premiership, and the sort of valuation we would put around those players. And much as I'll say so myself, I think you'll find it's quite an interesting show, as Joe always seems to generate. There's quite a bit of debate and discussion, and it was really interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people will be aghast at some of the decisions we put forward and some of the prices that are mentioned. So tee that one up all for you later this week. I think you'll find that's a good watch, and really would be interested to get other people's views on it. So absolutely, Joe who, Mark, you're absolutely right that he is back on a show later this week. So the Norwich game, tough game. You've mentioned a couple of players that might be out there, Stephen. Is there anyone else we really need to look out for, need to be nervous about?
Well, again, with a game still to be played, you never know if anyone's going to get injured or suspended or whatever. They signed a couple of players. I think Mohamed Toure, I'm going to get crucified for this, but I think he's Canadian international. Or Ali Ahmed is another one of them's a Canadian international. They've gone on international duty. They're a couple of good players. Paris Magoma, that might be a name from the past. I think he used to play for Brentford, a sort of a tricky winger. They also signed the young lad. I think he was from Man United at Sheffield Wednesday, and he got himself in a bit of hot water with Almerin when he was manager for posting his his player of the month award. Amas, I think it is from.
Right. Okay.
They signed him. Obviously left Sheffield Wednesday, in their position. And one player they do have that people might not have come across, they signed last summer a midfielder, Jacob Wright from Manchester City. They had him on loan last season. Really, really good midfielder. One he's young. Obviously left City to get first team opportunities. Norwich have snapped him up and very, very good. So they've got some good players. Obviously, Josh Sargent left after the saga of him wanting to leave the club and things like that. But they've got some very, very good players, and certainly will be a threat from different positions.
And that Makama though, hasn't he been out in recent games?
He has been. I think he's been out for a little while, but before he got injured, he was scoring a lot of goals for them.
Yes.
They were saying, Josh Sargent, which a year ago you'd have been amazed as a Norwich fan to say that. So they do have some good players, but again, it's the same as us. They'll be looking at our squad. Another little plug. I'm going on the Norwich the Pinken podcast on Thursday. To kind of preview the game, but and having a bit of chat with those guys, they're looking at our players and going, whoever's playing at left back is going to have to stop Femi Aziz, and whoever's playing at right back has got Camille Negley after a really good assist against Ipswich. So we're talking about these players, and they are good players, and you can't discredit them. But they'll be looking at ours, going, bloody hell, they got some good players, and we are where we are for a reason. After 5 games. People say, the league, you can't tell anything from the league. We're 39 games in now. Well, I think you can. It certainly shows we deserve to be where we are.
And trust me, when you watch our show later this week, you'll see not only have we got good players, we have got multi-million pound players. Angelo was splashing the cash left, right, and centre.
So in the summer, when if someone comes in for Femi Aziz, we get you boys in the boardroom and we'll end up with about 150 million.
Oh, leave it to us. Leave it to us. We're going to cut the deals. Don't worry about that. That's fine. But no, good watch that. But listen, Dave, that's something that I think is on the plans for the future. I'd love to see that as well. It'd be great analysis for Angelo. We've tried to put Angelo on the spot to do it. He wouldn't do it live, but I think he'd like to maybe have a go at it at some point. Bloody hell, they lose in England as well. Jesus, terrible. But hey ho. Right, where are we? So let's do. We'll have to do a score predictions, Ben, for Norwich. I know we're looking a bit ahead, but what's your prediction?
I'm going to be really boring, mate, and I'm going to say 2-1 again. I think, as I said, it's going to be an open game, but I think we will come out on top. And goal scorers, I'm going to go with Femi. He's due to get back on the score sheet, and Negley.
Right, like it.
But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 us again, mate. Boring, I know, so I apologise, but yeah.
2-1 this points tally's going up without giving too much away. The points tally's going up. I like it. Go on, Stato, what you thinking? And please put in the comments what score you think for Norwich.
I am never, ever, ever going to predict us to lose against Norwich, and I'm not even going to predict us to draw against them either, because it's just not worth it. So, no, I think I will go 3-1 Millwall on Monday. I'm expecting us to have a brilliant day off the field with our charitable work and donations, and I fully expect our players to turn up. If anything, last year we beat Middlesbrough on our charity day, so hopefully we can be a little bit of a lucky charm and keep a result going. I will say this now: when I go on their podcast, I'm going to play it down massively, and it'll be 2-1, and it'll be tight and cagey. Just putting it out there. But I expect us to win the game, and I've said it all along. you set yourself up for massive disappointment. We all, the listeners that are in here, you guys, I'm sure I speak for everybody. The expectation on the football club at the moment is so huge. Like, we just want them to win. We expect them to win. You expect us to be second and getting in that automatic spot, and it doesn't change. And I think, as I said earlier, Middlesbrough side, if we play anywhere near our best in the 6 games after Friday, we should beat every single one of those teams. Now, I know it's not as easy as that, but if you play at your best, we've got enough to beat those teams. And I think we'll do that more than we won't for the run-in. And wherever that sees us, then what will be will be.
I think that's a really good point, Stephen. Look, if we play, as you say, we play to the ability that we have got, we can beat anybody, and we can win every one of these games, and certainly compete. So, yeah, it's a really good point. I don't often agree with this fella, Mr. Jeff Cook, but I'll balance that. I feel if we beat Borough, I wouldn't be surprised if we draw with Norwich. I hope not, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised. Or vice versa, draw and win. If we draw or lose to Borough, we'll beat Norwich 100%. But I'm going to go similar, same as Jeff there. I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go BFS, Femi, but I'm also going to go either Jake or Taylor. I'm going to go Taylor to a very expensive Caleb Taylor, as you'll see on the show. So I'm going to go with those 3. So I agree. I think there's going to be goals. And we can be positive with that one. And I hadn't thought your point, Stephen, about the Charity Day Borough. Was at that one? Yeah, that was a 1-0 Negley, wasn't it? So yeah, maybe I think John said 1-0. I'd take that, to be honest, but I can see goals in that game, most definitely. So, Ben, we get to Monday evening, tea time. What will have happened then? Are we saying Ipswich will have only played once?
Yeah.
Yes. They only play Monday. Yeah, they only play Monday.
And why is that, did you say?
Because I can tell you why. Because Southampton are playing in the FA Cup this weekend, and I believe that's the fixture that Ipswich are supposed to be playing. So obviously they can't, and that fixture has been moved, which I don't agree with. I was moaning about this the other day, I think, to Ben, that it's been moved to between the 45th and 46th games of the season. So when everyone else has played their 45th, they will still have a game to play.
I think that plays. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that situation though. I wouldn't want to have a game in hand at that point in the season.
I guess the only time it is a lot of pressure, and it does depend, because I'm just looking at their fixtures. So in their next 3 of their next 4 are Birmingham. Okay, they're a bit hit and miss, but on their day can be pretty good. Norwich, which is the derby. Portsmouth is fighting for their lives, and Middlesbrough, which obviously will be a humdinger for them too. So if they're in a good position, they might go into it really, really buoyed. If they're not in a good position, they might have to go into it with a bit more pressure. But I think I'm on the fence a little bit. I don't like that they have to play them personally. The only thing I would say from the flip side, if you're looking, you've got to be realistic. If things don't go our way, and maybe you're looking at the top 6, the fact that Southampton have a game in hand, and it is against Ipswich, obviously that might hamper their chances of getting in as well. So big games, big games.
Absolutely, everybody will have them as well. So Ben, where you thinking we'll be after at tea time Monday night in the table?
Well, if we win both games like I've predicted, you'd like to think we will be in second, right? Well,
we will be.
We will be.
So, we would be.
I'm going to say second, mate.
Love it.
I'm going to say second.
It. Stefano, what you saying?
Oh God!
Got to go with your predictions.
It's only when you say things you realise how stupid you are sometimes. Because, like Ben, I've just sat and I'm thinking, I'm basically saying we are going to be second on Monday. Bloody hell!
Same here. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it is weird. But then I can't see that. But look, why not? Why not? Bloody hell, that would be phenomenal, wouldn't it? Then it would be. Then the fun really starts, most definitely. Brilliant. So, yeah, good. So, guys, I think we're about there, aren't we? Unless there's anything else you want to add, we've pretty much gone through the agenda of what we wanted to do. Nice way to finish that we could be on Monday tea time. We could be second in the league. Oh my God. Unbelievable, Jeff. So, yeah, look, quickly put in the chat while we're finishing up, what position you think we will be in at the at tea time on Monday. Bearing in mind, Ipswich only play once is the point that's being made. So, yeah, look, I think we've done everything, guys. I think it'd be worth a quickly recap on anything you want to share and a farewell. So, Ben, we'll go to you first.
Like I've been saying on all of them, mate, I'm going to check it out in the same way. Let's try and embrace it. Hope the players are. Look forward to all the games. And 7th.
Right. Is that possible? 7th? Bloody hell, Jimmy.
Can't be, can it? Can't be. Yeah, look forward to it. Embrace it. Just whatever happens, happens. But let's just try and enjoy the final few games. And if anyone there is there on Friday, I shall see you up there.
Absolutely. Listen, you enjoy it, mate, as I'm sure you will do, and you will keep your shit, won't you? You're not gonna lose it if it goes a tad pear-shaped.
No, listen, I'm even if we do get beat on Friday, I am in that. If we listen, we're almost certainly going to be in the playoffs, right, mate? So there's no Wrexham meltdown pending for me, right? If we get beat, it is what it is, and then we look forward to probably the playoffs. So yeah, I'm happy to the end of the season, mate. Whatever happens.
Absolutely brilliant. No, brilliant. Love that, Ben. And thanks for coming on, mate. Great input as always. Tell you what, that's a great shout from John, isn't it? Bloody hell, biggest weekend in the year. It really is when you start thinking it through. Jesus, it gets a bit more nerve-wracking. Stato, what would you like to finish with?
2 things. First of all, I cannot wait for next Friday in the away end when Ben is absolute head loss at something, and he's going, "Oh, I'm happy for to the end of the season." Yeah, you know, it's all this, that, and the other. Because I'm there with him. I keep saying the same thing, and then something happens, and you just absolutely, you always start being at the games. Everyone goes absolutely nuts, don't they? I will finish on, and then obviously hand over to you, Steve. Just a couple of bits. Guys, thank you very much for watching us. Obviously, we wanted to make sure we put a show out because international break, it's hard to not talk about a game of football because there isn't one. So thanks for sticking with us. I know some people might want to watch England, some people might not, but we hope we've given you enough to at least not endure the first half hour or so. On the charity stuff, just to echo what we said earlier, whilst we do this, under the caveat that everything we do is for cancer research, predominantly we are a Millwall podcast and we do it because we want to talk about the club. So, we are here to do the right things for charity, but we are also here to bring really, really good Millwall content. So thank you for all the support you've given us, whether that be donating, whether it be watching us, whether it be liking, whether it be subscribing. We appreciate everything. I said it on mine and Ben's review show. We look at all the comments, we look at all the messages, we send screenshots in the chat all the time of the funny ones, the good ones, the things that we might think might make good talking points. So thank you very much. And as always, with anything that we say and anything that we do, if you are in a position to donate, please do. And if you're not, that's absolutely fine. We're here to bring you good content, and if you can share it, then that's good enough for us.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks for that. Absolutely spot on. Lots of nice comments coming in from everybody there, and wishing you all the best starting tomorrow. Get to bed early tonight. Don't be having a beer after this, and 4 miles in the morning in your lycra outfit. Blackheath won't.
No one wants to see that. No one wants to see that.
Brilliant.
No, I've got a big picture and it's got Ben's face. It's just right here. Just a huge mugshot of it.
They are also available to be sold for cancer research.
Unwashed. But listen, I think like you guys, look, we have said a lot about the charity and a lot about the events that are going on. But look, genuinely, like the auction that's been mentioned, there's some great things on there, guys, that, you know, but you're contributing to charity, but you will benefit with a huge item or prize or whatever you want to call it. So please have a look or share with friends and family, etc., as we said. But thanks for all listening and watching tonight. Really appreciate it. Have a great Easter weekend. May the dear Lord be looking down upon the mighty Millwall and putting us into absolute dreamland. But I think, like Ben says, look, whatever happens, I think we need to keep our keep with the boys and understand this is going to be a great season, whatever. So look, thanks for tonight. Great to see you all, and we'll see you all on the if not at Borough, Ben and Chris, we'll see you all at Norwich on the Monday. Sorry, one thing I did want to say, I just had a quick look on YouTube, and I have added my like, and we're on 53. We bring the big guns out for you, and we're on 53 likes. So look, I think in recent weeks we've been getting 200 plus. So we'll lower the bar a little bit and say we would love 200 plus likes. So if we could hit that target, that would be much appreciated by everybody. So just go onto YouTube and like that. All goes towards the algorithms. Like Stephen says, look, that costs nothing but helps contribute money to the cause. So thanks for that. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you soon. And come on, you Lions.
1 minute. Wait, 1 minute, Steve. 1 minute.
Go on.
1 minute.
Okay.
Alex, is there a phrase that pays this week? We're ending the show with a phrase, haven't we? So we've got
we have, yeah. Well said, Alex. Yeah.
Thinking caps. God, this is painful, isn't it?
Someone in the chat help us out.
Keep your shit, Ben. Quick. What can we
Bedlam in Borough. Bedlam in Borough.
Yeah, go on. We'll go for that. Bedlam in Borough. Hope that doesn't backfire. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bedlam in Borough. Good luck, Ben. Bedlam in Borough, and like and subscribe, please. Thanks for all watching. What about that one? What's that? That's something good. Chris wears filthy trousers. Are we sticking with Bedlam? Yeah.
I think we got. I tell you what, no, Alex. Chris wears filthy trousers. Get that on trending on Twitter and in the comments. That's the one.
I love it. Chris wears filthy trousers. It is. We'll all put that in the comments. Great stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you all again soon. All the best for now. Cheers. Bye now.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison here, and you're listening to Chat with Chaps, chatting Millwall, come rain or shine.